Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So it seems as though Harry has got his upcomings finally, and we all saw the reports of the Queen heading to Frogmore as soon as Harry arrived in the UK the other day. So allegedly she has basically told him to shut his big fat trap. I'm going to get into this source because it is so juicy and it's so revealing. So this is by the National Enquirer, and it starts out with raging royal breaking vow of silence to tell Harry and Meghan shut up already. So the Queen is furious. She's absolutely livid. Queen Elizabeth has thrown down the gauntlet to renegade royals Prince Harry and Meghan. Stop your twisted lies or else. In an unprecedented move, the 95-year-old monarch ditched her long-standing never complain, never explain policy to publicly expose whoppers circulated by the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and their allies, the National Enquirer has learned. Her Majesty has humiliated her grandson and his wife by ordering them to shut up or face the consequences, dished a high-level courtier. She is exasperated at the relentless briefings by allies of the Sussexes, with the royal family having no way to respond. Well, that's all changed. She will no longer remain silent when Harry and Meghan allow mistruths to circulate. Now the royals will in fact retaliate immediately. Queen Elizabeth's shocking decree following the June 4th arrival of the Sussexes' second child, a daughter they controversially named Lilibet, and of course that caused a big stir and ruckus, and it was very upsetting and hurtful towards the Queen. A report leaked by the Sussex camp claimed Her Majesty was introduced by video to the newborn, her 11th great-grandchild, soon after her birth. That meeting actually didn't ever happen, and Kate really did clarify that at the summit in Cornwall when she said she can't wait to meet Lily, she wishes her all the best, and she can't wait to even see her. So Meghan and Harry tried to lie and say that the Queen had met Lily via a Zoom call, but that was in fact a lie. The meeting never happened, exclaimed the royal source, but the lie was the last straw. It apparently sent the Queen over the edge, which of course we know it did. She required, as of immediate effect, to be taken to Frogmore to directly speak to her wayward grandson. Her Majesty was already reeling from the false statements. She'd approved Harry and Meghan's use of Lilibet for 2-year-old Archie's newborn sister. She, in fact, did not. The Sussexes' allies publicly insisted Harry called his grandmother immediately after the birth, saying he was hoping to name his daughter Lilibet, but palace sources said his call was not to ask the Queen, but to tell her, which is true because they trademarked everything under the sun that they could possibly think of in the name Lilibet, including the domain name, in order to ensure that they could make money out of their royal connection and out of this name. Then they told her, after the deed was done, in fact, that they had done it. And it wasn't to extend an olive branch. We all know that it was all about making more money. I am told Her Majesty felt she couldn't object at that point, spilled the source. So many private conversations between the Sussexes and the royals have been leaked. She didn't need the headline, "Cruel Queen bans use of her name." And that, of course, was coming from Meghan and Harry's underhanded negative PR team in order to slander the royal family, which is something that they have consistently been doing for the last 2 years, in fact. The Queen herself coined the name Lilibet when she was a very young girl and couldn't pronounce Elizabeth. It was her late husband, Prince Philip's pet name for her. She used it when she left a handwritten note on his coffin in April, dished the source. The Queen was absolutely floored Harry and Meghan would hijack her private nickname. She loves her grandson, but her patience finally snapped. The monarch stripped the fame-obsessed couple of all royal duties, patronages, and military honours earlier this year. They retaliated in bombshell TV interviews, accusing the royals of being racist, refusing to help Meghan when she was suicidal, and claiming Harry's mental health crisis was sparked by his father, Prince Charles's poor parenting, which he learned from the Queen. For a couple who apparently hate the royals and quit their duties for a star-studded life in California, they have given their child a name forever associated with the Queen, which doesn't make sense. And it also makes no reference to the BLM movement or to Doria's side of the family and Meghan's African-American heritage, which she allegedly is so proud of. So it goes on to say, that's because they are nobodies in America without their real connections, and they're desperate to keep their last remaining titles, but they didn't count on the Queen taking over this royal war. Harry and Meghan better shut up, or Her Majesty will expose the cruel lies they peddle to boost their Hollywood image. And of course, there have been countless lies which are documented here, and it's not really a surprise that the Queen has taken this stance in order to shut them down and shut them out, because they are wreaking havoc everywhere they go, especially against the royal firm. They are destroying their international global reputation at an accelerated rate, and everyone has pretty much had enough. Lies, lies, and more lies. No wonder Queen Elizabeth is fed up with Harry and Meghan's lies. Here are just a few of some of their whoppers. Meghan and Harry were secretly married by the Archbishop of Canterbury 3 days before their globally broadcast wedding. False. That would be illegal, and the clerk denied it. The royal silenced Meghan. Really? While living in England, she guest edited British Vogue magazine and spoke at many of her 73 public appearances. So she was not silenced. Suicidal Meghan was refused help, but Harry admitted he never told family members about her mental health crisis. So there's obviously a major contradiction there, and it just doesn't make any sense. Meghan's passport was confiscated by the palace. She flew to Rome. She also flew to Amsterdam, and she also went to the French Riviera and New York during her 20-month royal tenure. Only the Queen travels without a passport. So, of course, she had access to her passport. She had access to her private documentation. She also went on a whole royal tour with Harry and went to South Africa and had time to moan about how awful and terrible it's been to be joining this institution. Another lie that she said was that son Archie II was denied the title prince and 24/7 security because he is biracial, which is untrue. Under the royal rules, he and his newborn sister Lily won't be entitled until their grandfather Prince Charles assumes the throne. Another thing that she really did lie about, which she has been revealed for, is that Meghan knew zilch about the royal family before marrying Harry. Oops, she was photographed at Buckingham Palace as a teen when a childhood friend revealed her Princess Diana obsession, and she wrote about William and Kate's wedding on her former blog. So how is it even possible that she did not know in any way, shape or form about the royal family or their customs and traditions? And how did Harry fall for it? But then we all know that Harry is not exactly up to speed on Meghan's lies, exploitation and manipulation. So the last lie, which is just a few, because this isn't everything that she's done, is that the privacy-seeking Sussexes announced their bombshell March CBS special would be their final word, but it has hardly been the case. Harry let rip with new royal attacks in interviews in May, and then obviously we have the Me You Can't See documentary. And just to summarize, the Queen has had enough. She's fed up, she's sick and tired of being exploited, and she's sick and tired of their constant whining, moaning and negativity, and she wants them to shut up, or she is going to take yet more action against them, which will be to come for those Duke and Duchess of Sussex titles. With all that being said, guys, I will be back with another video. Bye, guys.